Former Ambassador Nikki Haley is running for president, as you know, and she said there should be a mandatory mental competency test for politicians older than 75. You're 81. Do you take offense at that?
What does she mean? I don't understand what you.
Don't worry, she eventually explained it to him and he got it. No, Bernie Sanders having a little bit of fun with that. Obviously more mentally competent than the vast majority of people in America, regardless of age. But he did have serious thoughts about this point that Nikki Haley keeps coming back to day after day after day. Here are his thoughts.
I think that's absurd. There's a level.
Absurd.
Yeah, we are fighting racism, we're fighting sexism, we're fighting homophobia. I think we should also be fighting ageism. Trust people, look at people, and say, this person's competent, this person's not competent. Mm-hmm. There are a lot of 40-year-olds out there who ain't particularly competent. Older people, you look at the individual. I don't think you make a blanket statement.
Okay, so when it comes to the current president or the former president and their age range, it doesn't concern you.
Look at what they do, what they believe in. Mm-hmm. What are they fighting for? What does Donald Trump stand for? Do you believe in that? Well, I certainly don't. What does Joe Biden stand for? What is he doing? Has he accomplished? Look at him in that way, not on age.
It hurt a little bit for him to call me out as particularly incompetent now that I've hit 40. But anyway, I think it's a good point. Look, I get that. I think that if people have a feeling that politicians are like out of touch, I get that, and it's easy to think that could be an age thing. And I think that with advanced age, it is harder to stay, in touch. I still don't know what's going on TikTok, but I don't think it's the only thing that matters. And I think that Bernie Sanders shows that you can be older than these people and still have a much better grasp of what's actually going on, the problems that are actually facing people, what they want to be done. So I like this response there, Francesca. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I've said on this program that I believe that it is nice to have younger representation, and especially with women and people who are like, trying to start families rather than maybe becoming grandparents. And so I've said those kinds of things, but I kind of roll my eyes every time someone talks about Bernie's age or even Biden's age, right? If we're talking about Biden, it's just about sometimes he can has sleights of words. I don't know if we can attribute that completely and 100% to his stutter. It's neither here nor there, but he, in my opinion, and Trump for sure, do not seem as with it as someone like Bernie Sanders. Then you have someone like Dianne Feinstein retiring after years of potentially not truly being cognitively able to do her job. Yeah. I don't agree with Nikki Haley on this, but I do agree that you have to judge each person by the standard of do they seem like they're with it? Are they going on a book tour after having just written a book? Bernie Sanders is doing that. And my only critique is he should have named Lauren Boebert by name and said there's a lot of nearly 40-year-olds, because she's 36, who are not particularly with it.
Bothers me so much when these incompetent, moronic people are younger than me and in politics. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. And look, I think we get to have this conversation. And I think that some people, thinking about the arguments made for, well, it seems ridiculous to cap off people at a certain age when some of them obviously are fully capable of doing the job. Well, then I think some people might say, well, then does it make a lot of sense that we cap off people below a certain age?
Absolutely, yeah.
They're 18-year-old activists that I think definitely could represent people better than your average 40-year-old who's been in DC for 15 years or whatever, doesn't understand what's going on, has been rich and all that. Yeah. So I don't know, maybe we could filter this energy that a lot of the older politicians have, that there shouldn't be a maximum age cutting off the minimum age. I don't know, just a thought.
For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thedamagereport. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.